Kenya Airways, the airline that dreamed big. You remember Project Mawingu? Yes, we'll get to that. But this airline has seen it all. It bought the big, shiny Dreamliners. It got caught in scandals. It nearly got nationalized. And then somehow they're staging a glow up. This is the KQ roller coaster. After the East African Airways folded in the 1970s, Kenya, of course, needed a flag carrier. So enter Kenya Airways in 1977. It started as state-owned. Then in the 1990s, the government privatized it and bought in a heavyweight partner. You all know KLM. This Dutch airline took a big stake during the 1996 privatization. Think of it as handing your baby to your older cousin to help you style it, with mixed results. Around 2009 to 2013, I'm telling you, KQ dreamed huge. They launched Project Mawingu, aiming to be Africa's hub connecting the continents. That meant lots of routes, big planes, the Boeing 787 Dreamliners, and A-team ambitions. If ambition were an airplane, KQ, they ordered 9 Dreamliners, and boy were they dreamy. But these dreams, they cost fuel, literally. Fast forward, rapid expansion, plus expensive planes, plus risky fuel hedging, it all equals to trouble. KQ hedges, they tried to lock the fuel prices, but this backfired when oil crashed, leaving multi-billion shilling hits in the mid-2010s. Add routes that didn't fill, and the leasing costs, and boom, the airline bled money. Not the kind of bleeding you want on the runway. When money starts disappearing, people stop smiling. KQ commissioned a Deloitte forensic audit in 2016, and let me tell you, that report flagged internal control weaknesses and possible collusion with outside parties. One headline drama involved dealings with a now collapsed Dubai bank and allegations of fake guarantees and suspicious forex transactions. Several ex-managers were later charged as investigations continued. These were allegations, and formal charges followed in some cases. People were investigated and some were charged. By 2017, KQ was negotiating big restructures. Lenders and the government converted huge amounts of debt into equity. That's how 10 banks, via a vehicle called KQ Lenders Company 2017 Limited, they ended up with a roughly 38% block, and the government's stake swelled to about 48.9%. So the airline went from "we are expanding like crazy" to "let's reshuffle the ownership deck." And some investors got shuffled off the board. In 2020, the government floated a bill to manage the national carrier, the National Aviation Management Bill. This bill spooked investors and led to a trading suspension for KQ shares. KQ applied for suspension and NSE lifted it in January 2025. KQ had a rotating door of CEOs. Titus Naikuni, who was the modernizer, 2003 to 2014. Then we also had Moving Gunze, Sebastian Mikoz, and now Alan Kilavuka, who took over in 2020 and steered the airline through COVID plus restructuring. Names changed, suits changed, but the tea kept brewing. Kenya Airways' safety record includes tragic accidents, notably the Flight 431. You remember the Abidjan 2000 and Flight 507 in Douala 2007. These were painful chapters, and they led to investigations and changes in training and procedures. KQ clawed toward recovery. By 2023 to 2024, it reported its first operating profit in years and a pre-tax profit in 2024, helped partly by FX gains and route recovery. And in January 2025, trading on the Nairobi Securities Exchange resumed after a multi-year freeze. KQ even piloted sustainable aviation fuel on long-haul flights. Small flex, big optics. From near insolvency to SAF and awards. That's a glow-up. But also, 2025 reminded everyone recovery isn't a straight line. The first half of 2025 posted a significant pre-tax loss after several aircrafts were grounded for maintenance. Comeback? Yes. Fragile? Also yes. People love KQ because it's our airline. It carries families, dreams, businesses, and national pride. That's why the scandals sting and the wins feel huge. The saga is part aviation story and part national drama. So KQ is like that favorite uncle, sometimes brilliant, sometimes questionable, but always at family events. Yeah, that's it on this one, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.